How are you girls tonight? Candy fresh back from vacation. Carrie about to leave us for vacation.
I still got over a month, so I'm trying not to get all excited about it yet because I still got time.
I'm excited enough for you.
There you go.
Me too.
Candy, how was your vacation? It was your first trip to Europe, right?
It was my first trip to Europe. We took a European cruise. We stopped in Amsterdam, 3 stops in Norway, and 3 stops in Iceland. And it was spectacular, beautiful. We couldn't stop in Brussels because the weather was too bad. It was too windy.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was beautiful. I mean, the sights to see. It's just amazing what this world has that we haven't seen.
Oh, absolutely it is.
And I would tell anybody, you're not going to remember what phone you bought, or what you had. You're going to remember the memories that you make when you go places and the places that you've been. So, spend your money wisely is what I guess I would say, take the trips, do those, because those are the memories that you're going to remember, the things you're going to remember.
I second that.
You only live once, and don't live with regrets.
No, in fact, if it's not this year, it'll probably be next year that I will try to do New England in the fall for my mom, in honor of my mom, because that's something she always wanted to get to do and never got to. So yeah, I'm a big thing about let's live in the moment, and I want the memories and the experiences, and my house can be just above a TP. No, I can't. It has to be. There has to be air conditioning in my house, so it can't be a TP. But I don't have to have a big fancy house. I just want some place that I can sleep comfortably, but have all the experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well,
I apologize. I just got through doing farm tours, so I am kind of a mess. I jumped out of the shower to jump online, so I apologize to our viewers. But
no, you're fine. Jen seems to be having internet problems because I think she keeps coming on and off and stuff like that. But it was our first time doing a cruise, and some people love cruises and some people don't like cruises. But the one thing I will say about a cruise is if you like to let everything go and not have to worry about, am I driving here and the traffic there? And, a cruise allows you to unpack once and go and visit all these different sites. And, you go during the day and you go do whatever you want in these different ports. And then you come back to the ship at night and you relax and you let them move you to the next place. And so it's a different experience. This is my very first cruise. So I will say it will not be my last one.
No, spoken like a true cruiser, because I had all the apprehension the first time, and we're leaving in August to go on a second one. So absolutely. I think, and I like the aspect that, your vacation is kind of planned and you don't have to put a lot of effort into it. You want to see a show tonight, go see a show. If you want to read tonight, read it. Just however you feel comfortable at that moment, then that's what you get to do. And you don't have to try to entertain everybody that you're traveling with, because everybody has the ability to do their own things too. So,
well, and people, I know always people were complaining about, oh, you gain 10 pounds because you have all these buffets. Then don't go to the buffets if you don't want to go to the buffets. There's other options.
I did not gain weight when I went on the cruise. In fact, it was because we were doing so much that it was easy not to just want to eat. But if that's what you want to do that. I mean,
right.
We didn't like them. We liked the sit down dinner and we had the reservation that they came and served us, and then we got up and did our night things. So, yeah, some people, if that's what you want to do, is do that, or booze it up, do whatever, do what fits your needs. But you don't have to live there in the buffet line. You don't have to live in the bar. You just enjoy.
What's interesting, Carrie, is now that we're talking about cruises, is my husband had saw where somebody posted that it was cheaper for her to live. She literally sold her house. She's retired, sold her house, and she's paying to live on a cruise. And basically she cruises all over. I want to say, oh, when did he send that to me? Let me quick check. I want to say like she plans on doing it for like the next, I don't know, so many years. Like she paid so much for it, but she's literally going to be on a cruise and she'll be able to see all these different places. She was a 77 retired teacher, moves on a cruise ship for 15-year journey. She says it's cheaper than living in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read that and I was like, you go, girl.
It's a whole thing. A lot of people are doing it because you've got free healthcare. You've got access to your prescriptions when you go into ports. You have food taken care of. You have housekeeping at least once a week. Like, I mean, why not? And you get to see the world.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that she has just from my experience, I hope that she has more than just the basic cabin but if it's just her, maybe that would work. For me, that would be too small of a space for an extended period of time.
Well, some people, they like most cruise lines. I read that somewhere because I joke with my friend Sarah, who is a huge cruiser. She goes on a several a year. And I was joking around that she was going to do this. She's like, well, in all honesty, the cruise line saw this trend. So they have special rates set up for people with living, like you've got an actual little apartment.
Well, yeah, those are on there. The suites are on there. And, as a normal cruiser, you can do that. But yes, I've seen that you can, but there's all types of rooms that you can get to. So, I mean, it's even your normal cabin is like a little suite. It's just very condensed. You either have your bed, a desk, or your toilet to sit on. So, but I would think that she probably would go with something that give her a little bit more space, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Each their own. I mean, if you like that life, that's great. I don't know that I could do it for that long, but
I think that for me, just because I enjoy this land scenery, I mean, you get to see a lot of things and stuff, but I think that at some point I would need to, I don't think that's my life, but I will take as many cruises as I can.
mm-hmm.
It can be your life if you want it to be, girl.
No, because I need land time as well.
And
besides, I won't be able to. No. I wouldn't be able to see Colby very much, and so that would be that in itself right there is a no-go. So
okay, that's a good point. Well, we do have. I'm glad everybody's back, and I love that y'all can talk cruising. I was sort of watching stuff on Alaskan cruises because I think that one or like riverboat cruises in Europe for the Christmas villages are like the only ones I would go on. That's just me.
Well, we're trying to talk about like a Mediterranean cruise next year, maybe like seeing some of those sites would be kind of cool.
That would be.
Loved. You're doing Mediterranean. I thought it was really neat because I got to see island life, and that isn't something that I would have had an experience with. So hopefully I'll make it out of the Bermuda Triangle. If not, it was meant for me to be able to take an extended vacation. Until
just show me when you find Amelia.
When I show up again, it'll be like, oh, okay, cool. That was really relaxing, I guess.
So we actually have kind of an action-packed show tonight. So we're gonna go a little fast. I know that we're gonna talk. And I apologize to everybody. I created the link, so I put down All-Star Weekend, but it's actually was a Midsummer Game Classic that Candy's gonna be talking about. And then I'm gonna be covering the women's baseball league, which is pretty epic. And then Carrie is going to be talking about the tragedy in Texas that has brought sports teams together. Oh
no, Jen seems to be having some issues.
Must be. Why don't you go ahead and start?
So can we believe that we're already talking about the Midsummer Classic already?
No.
I can't believe it's time to be talking about the middle. I mean, we always think about, like, I've always thought all-star game for baseball, it's the middle of summer, like, and I'm like, really? We're already in the middle? I mean, I suppose we're already we're in July. It's like, oh my gosh.
Right.
It's crazy how fast time goes. But yeah, so 2025 Midsummer Classic actually airs next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So right after our show. But there's things that lead up to it. There's the All-Star Weekend. If any or all of you who know, it is in Atlanta this year. I can tell you I've been to an All-Star game when I lived up in Milwaukee. We had the All-Star game. It was the only one that ended in a tie, so I have been at one that was, for a different reason. But they have all kinds of different events. They have like a fan fest. They have, the softball tournament. They have other tournaments leading up to it. So the home run derby obviously gets a lot of attention and stuff like that. But I thought I'd quick go over the American League starters. Cal Raleigh from the Seattle Mariners, Jonathan Aranda from the Tampa Bay Rays, Gleyber Torres from Detroit Tigers, Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Guardians, Bobby Witt Jr. from the Kansas City Royals, Aaron Judge, of course, from the Yankees, Brian Buxton from the Twins, Riley Green from the Detroit Tigers, and Brett Rooker from the Athletics, and then Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers again. The reserves are Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Brandon Lowe, Jeremy Pena, Javier Baez, George Springer, Yandy Diaz, Jacob Wilson, Hunter Brown, Garrett Crochet, and Jacob deGrom. Now, as far as the National League starters, Will Smith from the Dodgers, Pete Alonso for the Mets, Ketel Marte from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Eugenio Suarez from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Francisco Lindor from the Mets, Kyler Tucker from the Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong from the Cubs, James Wood from the Nationals, and Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers. And then pitching, Zach Wheeler from the Phillies. And then the reserves, Michael Busch from the Cubs, Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers, Eddie De La Cruz from the Reds, Trey Turner from the Phillies, Manny Machado from the Padres, Matt Chapman from the San Francisco Giants, Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Atlanta Braves, Andy Page from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Paul Skeens from the Pirates, Christopher Sanchez from the Phillies, and Mackenzie Gore from the Nationals. There's all kinds of good events. We apologize that Jen's been having these problems. One of the things that's even happening is before the All-Star game, you're going to have special performances. MLB is hosting the 2025 All-Star game in Atlanta, and the names that put the city on the map are going to be in attendance for the festivities. As such, it should come as no surprise that Ludacris will play a big role in the event. He will headline the list of pregame performers. The league announced Tuesday he will be joined by Jermaine Dupri, Zach Brown Band, Kane Brown, and Lauren Spencer Smith. So
I have a crush on Kane Brown. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That boy's a hottie. His wife and family think so too. I'm just saying.
Right.
I get it, but so there's so many things to do and so many things to say, and yeah. Oh my goodness, Jen! I can't believe how.
We're playing. Where's Waldo? Where's Jen?
That's true. Where is she tonight? But yeah, so the All-Star game, big things. Go check it out. But after our show next week.
Yeah, we'll lead you up into the All-Star next week. Okay.
And our show next week is going to be Off the Hook. Just so y'all know, I'm so excited. Jackie Carson, the head of women's basketball for the
ACC
network, is going to be.
She's going to bless us again. She was on last winter, right before Thanksgiving, I think. So she's going to come back on this week and get us set up and prepared for the upcoming season with the ACC. All right. So Jen, do you want to lead with yours? You want me to do mine real quick and then you can pop in, or how do you want to?
Let
Go.
me try to do mine real fast because it actually has a big spot in my heart. So just so you guys know, I come from a family of athletes, and my aunt Charlotte Holder, Holuder, was actually part of the All-Star women's baseball team that traveled overseas during World War II to play against the baseball teams that the different troops had. In fact, that's how she met my great uncle Hank, and he played for General Patton. So when Candy brought it to our attention that they were bringing back the women's baseball league, I was like, oh yeah, if you don't mind, this would be really cool for me. And I'm going to go really fast since I keep getting booted off. There's storms.
There are storms. So wait. We just want to touch real quick. I'm gonna do mine real quick, and then wait, maybe there she's there. Okay, go, Jen.
So I'm sorry, you guys. There's storms going on here, and I don't know if that's interacting with it or what. But anyway, so the women's professional baseball league is going to be coming full throttle and next summer, July or May 2026. They are holding tryouts in August of this summer at Washington Nationals Park. And I am so excited. It's not part of the MLB, which yet watch, it'll make some money. And then MLB will yeah, let's bring this into the fold. But right now they've really reached out to.
Storms are playing havoc nationwide, and that kind of is a little bit of a lead in to what we wanted to acknowledge, that the Texans and the Cowboys have both stepped up as professional sports to provide assistance for those that were affected by the floods. We don't want to listen. And then Pistons' Cade Cunningham has raised over $7.3 million already for relief efforts. We do want to point out that it's very sad. There's a lot of coverage. I looked at 6 o'clock. They had 105 confirmed dead. It's not just the Mystic camp that was affected. It was that entire region. So it's tragedy compounded by the fact there was a lot of young children that were lost. Even it's now been released that Clark Hunt and his wife lost a niece that was 9 years old in the flood. So I do anticipate that we see more athletes stepping up because it is their hometown. I would not be surprised to see J.J. Watt's announcement of something, because he stood up and was there when Houston got flooded years back. So I expect him to be showing up as well. It's something that you cannot wrap your mind around, the magnitude of loss and the futures that were extinguished, and that's very sad. And we want to leave the political part of it and just be, we're seeing neighbors stepping up, whether it be through sports or just from the sheer volume of their heart to be a part of relief and comfort for these people. So do what you can. If it's something that you have to do, maybe it's something you need to do local. I personally, a friend of mine, his house was hit by lightning and it burned from the inside out a week and a half ago on a Sunday night. But his daughter, his wife, and himself all got out of the house. So things like that. Step up and help when the helping hand, however you can. Maybe it's in person, maybe it's monetary, maybe it's through action some other way. So if you can step up. Neighbors need neighbors right now.
And the other thing I would say is take caution. Don't take anything for advantage. We've had all kinds of storms and all parts of the country have. But when the weathermen tell you, hey, it's time for you to take cover, you need to protect yourself, please do so. Please listen to them. They're not just talking because they're just talking. They have some expertise. They can see, things and progression for the weather. And just be careful out there. That's, I know people in Florida get hit with lightning, and it's like, okay, well, why were you out there? Like, and so I just, besides the tragedy and yes, whatever you feel in your heart you can do, please do so and help everybody, but also pay attention and
Take
don't.
heed of notice and notice your surroundings and weather related. I heard an interesting thing on a show that was in the background today. We don't know when our how much sand is left at the top of our hourglass. So don't hurry up that sand. Take advantage and make sure that you're protecting yourself and live those moments like Candy and Scott were able to do, like I'm looking forward to doing, like Jen has done. Don't live in the moment and not for, but make sure that you are doing everything you can to continue living in the moment.
Live in the moment. The past is the past. That's why the rear view mirror is small.
Yeah.
I'm
Back to
going
you.
to go fast because they keep getting kicked off, and I'm so sorry. I will say this: they did a lot of research on the women's pro baseball league, so we'll revisit that topic again in 2 weeks. But I wanted to share like our happy story. So we've told some really good feel good stories in the past. And this one hit close to home because while Elton was going through everything, like I became really close with a family who were like helping my brother watch out for my dogs and blah, blah, blah. And like just an amazing family. I love their dynamic. Well, their eldest graduated from high school on June 9th. But before, they did all the right things. So she sent.
Oh no.
So sad for Jen. It is a happy story, and I was looking forward to hearing it. So we're gonna. Oh, there she comes back. We're just gonna talk until she comes back.
Thank God that for Prime Week, I'll be looking for a new laptop. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. But so Maddie graduated on June 9th, but prior to her graduation, she did a lot of research and sent.
Poor Jen.
Where's Jen now? Now you see her, now you don't. Where'd she go?
She's a magician.
She is. You're a magician.
Her favorite athletes and some celebrities, everybody does it. Anyway, so one of the people that she sent a graduation announcement to was Shaq and Shaquille O'Neal. No, if y'all remember a while back, I told a story about how like Shaq was walking behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like when he was a rookie with the Lakers, and he, a little kid wanted to get Kareem's signature, but Kareem walked on by. And Shaq saw it and like saw the look of disappointment. He goes, "Well, I'm not Kareem, but I'll sign." And so he signed it. Years later, Shaq walked in to meet a potential new business partner. And on this man's desk was that autograph. And they've been partners since then. Well, Shaq is so far the only one who has replied back to Maddie and sent her an autograph picture and said, "Proud of you and congratulations, Shaquille O'Neal." So that's just
The one thing that we can say about Shaquille O'Neal is, he's a person of the people. Like he has never shied away from not being driven by fan interaction and really doing things good. And I really feel like that has a lot to do with his mother and the way his stepfather raised him. And I, for that, I appreciate he's someone definitely to look up to as far as how you can be in the spotlight, but also be humble.
Mm-hmm. Magician Jen, you back? Oh, man, it's like I said the wand and boom, poof. What?
Poor thing. Oh my gosh.
That is too funny. I feel so sorry for her. But
there she is.
Oh my goodness.
I know she has to be incredibly frustrated at the moment.
Yeah, we all know how technology, it's a love-hate relationship, So when it works, it's great. But then when you have these little hiccups, you get so frustrated at times, and it's like, ah.
That was me at work today, just trying to, that
Yeah.
4-letter nasty word. But technology is your best friend until it isn't, and it stabs you in the back faster than a bad friend. So
It does. It does.
it doesn't care. It does not care. Has no scruples.
It's not.
Maybe we should wrap this up, because I don't want, Jen got to share her happy story. We will be revisiting the women's national baseball team, because that's quite an exciting thing that we want to make sure, and maybe we could compare the two between the softball league and see, trying to explain the differences there. We will have a special guest on next Tuesday. We really encourage you all to join us. And if you have any questions, as always, you can send them to us prior, but you can also join our live broadcast, and as from the audience, type in a question that we can share as well.
Yep, 7:30 Eastern every Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. Next week we were just promoting next week and how we want.
With Jackie, I'm so excited.
Yes,
absolutely. Jen, do you want to say anything else before you disappear?
I'm going to stop saying anything about it, because then she just automatically poofs. It's so funny. Oh,
well, Candy, you want to plug yours? We're almost at 30 minutes anyway, so we want to make sure we give our audience their time back. Candy, do you want to plug your next half hour?
8:30 p.m. is going to be Inside the Pigskin on the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network on YouTube. And one last plug, shameful plug. My husband wrote a book, Lessons to the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring.
Oh, I started reading it.
It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books.
And I told you about Barnes & Noble. And thank you, everybody. And I'm going to end the broadcast before I get booted again.
Sounds good. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye, guys. See you in 7.